just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info. And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Hard Facts 92.3 Nigeria Info. Here in Port Harcourt, I'm Dio. It's 10 minutes gone past 3 p.m. And the conversation, the show is officially started, kicks off right about now till about 7 o'clock when it comes to an end. Remember, Hard Facts comes with Mondays through to Fridays, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And today is one of those days, incidentally. You're welcome once again. And the compliment of the season, I believe that's very much in order. After all, it is the 7th day in the month of December 2021, the year fast coming to an end. December around the corner, the festivities kicking off in full gear pretty soon, I suppose. You know, and all that comes with it. Some stock taking, Thanksgiving, I suppose, as far as the year is concerned, and expectations as far as the new year 2022 is concerned. Where every good thing that you do wish for yourself be yours. However, as the year comes to an end, it is somewhat customary for folks, whilst doing some stock taking, maybe come to some realization that there's so much ground still left uncovered. There are several things that are still undone, unfinished business, if you will. And you tend to be in a hurry somewhat to get these things done, to wrap them up before the year comes to an end. Especially as you go to the religious places of worship these days, there are going to be lots of sermons using the 11th hour. You know, the God of the 11th hour. God will visit you in the 11th hour. It's not too late until the 11th hour. The 11th hour is nigh, and all kinds of crusades, and you might figure, I can still make it happen, and maybe you can actually. Maybe God was waiting for the 11th hour before he reached out to you. Not sure why, but he might know why. However, in your hustling and chasing after these 11th hour blessings, do take some extra care, be safe, be responsible, not just for yourself, but for others around you. On the roads, take extra precaution, obey traffic rules and regulations to avoid road accidents, whether you're a driver or passengers in the vehicle or even pedestrians for that matter. And also, not just on the roads, but even at home as well, domestic accidents are rife also. Accidents with electrical appliances, with gas cylinders and cooking stoves and the rest of it. Let's take some extra caution this time to ensure that we're all safe and we're able to relish the pleasures of the Yuletide season, however we possibly can, as we prepare ourselves for the coming of the new year as well. Welcome once again. A few matters we're going to be addressing on the show today as usual, and you're very much welcome to be a part of the conversation, of course. From now till about 7, at about 7 o'clock, the show comes to an end. The sports gang will be in for extra time. Yes, they will, bringing you all the action from the world of sports. So I do have side comments coming up in a moment. You know the drill. Random stories, random thoughts that caught my attention, which of course will not be discussed now until much later on. I do have a rant as well. I'll take your thoughts on that till 4 p.m. Now, before we've got the business news coming up, and after that we proceed to some other matters. Pardon me. If I do sound a little funny today, I apologize. I do have a slight sore throat right now. I do hope it goes away soon. Quite uncomfortable, really. So, back to what I was saying. I do have side comments, then I have a rant. I'll take your thoughts and mine till 4 p.m. And at 4 we got business news. Class action lawsuits to the rescue, or might be rescuing us against the suit menace, the suit crisis here in Rivers State. We'll be taking a look at that. Now, that item made it on our news bulletin earlier on today. A professor of energy law and sustainable development, Samuel Dike, has urged lawyers in Rivers State to institute a class action as part of their contribution in stopping the suit menace in the state. Now, Professor Dike made this call at the 2021 Law Week of the Nigeria Bar Association NBA Port Harcourt branch. Let's hear. let's hear what the Prof had to say about this situation, or this suggestion, if you will. Do I have it? For some funny reason, I do not seem to have the sound of it here. I was quite certain that it... Okay, apologies, but I do not have the sound for that. Anyways, on his part, the chairman of the NBA Port Harcourt branch, Brenton Yekwere, spoke on the reason for the choice of the topic. He tagged the menace of suit in River State from rhetoric to action. Let's hear what he had to say regarding the situation. Do I have that? Okay, that I do have.
If you live in River State, you see what we are suffering about the suit. Talk about the menace of suit in River State, from rhetorics to action. We really need to take action and see how we can curb this issue of suit. But that is why I thought we should discuss it and bring it to the front burner. At the end of our long week, we should issue a communique and advising the government on what needs to be done, and as lawyers to take our own action in seeing that this menace of suit is curbed in River State.
Okay, pardon me. I have found Professor DK's comments from Alpha News, so let's hear what he had to say.
The issue of suit has become so existential in our time. It has become a serious problem. We have looked at short-term and long-term measures, the ones we can do on our own, the ones lawyers will do for us, the role of government, and the IOCs. I have canvassed the issue of class action for lawyers and human rights crusaders to embark on, because class action comes with both naming and shaming. The release could be damages, it could be declaratory. If in a class action suit, the court declares that the prospective defendant should stop the act of pollution, what we want is a cleaner and safer environment for our present and future generation, and lawyers must take the lead.
In case you're wondering, and I imagine you might be, a class action, also known as a class action lawsuit or class suit, or even representative action as well. It's a type of lawsuit where one of the parties is a group of people who are represented collectively by a member or members of that group. Well, I know it might still seem a bit complex, but that's why I'll be having Professor of Energy Law and Sustainable Development, Professor Samuel Dickey, on the show today to discuss a class action suit recommendation or suggestion with a view to ending the suit menace in River State. How exactly can that happen? We'll explore that in the 4 o'clock hour. That takes us to 5. We've got the news updated at 5 p.m. After that, the Omicron Red List. Yeah, sounds like some sci-fi movie, right? It sounds like a Robert Ludlum novel. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. The Omicron Red List. Anyways, we'll take a look at that as well. Lai Mohammed says UK red listed Nigeria is unjust, discriminatory. We also had that on the news earlier on today. I can take a quick look at that. But the government has supported the decision of the UK to place Nigeria on its red list over the new COVID-19 variant. In our briefing newsman on Monday, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed said the decision was simply discriminatory and not based on any scientific fact. Now, he also said the Presidential Steering Committee will respond to the decision of the British government at the appropriate time. I wonder what exactly they plan to do. But anyways, here is the minister's comments.
How do you slam this kind of discriminatory action on a country of 200 million people just because of less than 2 dozen diseases? More importantly, whereas British business and residents are allowed to come in from Nigeria to Britain, non-residents from the same country are banned. The two groups are coming from the same country, but being subjected to different conditions. Why won't Britain allow people in both categories to come in and be subjected to the same conditions of testing and quarantine?
And the UK added Nigeria to the list of countries that it will enforce stricter entry rules starting from today. However, concerns of an outbreak of the new Omicron variant. So, well, we'll look at that on the show today as well. The Omicron Red List. And our travel restrictions banned for managing COVID-19, especially the Omicron variant. What exactly is the Omicron variant? This is another related matters we'll discuss in the 5 o'clock hour. After the news update, I'll be joined by public health expert Dr. Mosibe Maduka will be my guest for that conversation. We've got headlines 5:30, nation is at 6, open season after that till about 7 o'clock when the show comes to an end. So pretty much that's it for the show today. Any changes you will find out definitely. Simply stay tuned. So let's get on with today's side comments for now. Random stories and random thoughts that caught my attention, which will not be discussed now, of course. A trailer carrying a 40-foot container has fallen on a car at Laredo Junction on the NTA road. Traffic is building up following the incident. At the time of filing this report, Nigerians were gathered, but passers-by were trying to rescue the passengers trapped in the car. The trailer was broken down at that junction since yesterday afternoon. Since yesterday afternoon, goodness gracious. And nobody, no one in authority has been able to move the trailer away from there. It's remarkable stuff, you know. And I'm sure there's a department, some department or some agency of government whose job it is to remove that stuff from there. It must be someone's job to do it, I suppose, but they've not done it yet. At least at the time this report was filed on the news, and that's very disturbing. But I hope that they're going to get it done. I hope they get it done eventually. You know, by the way, reports have it that His Excellency does have, you know, some abode, you know, not too far from that place. So if you haven't done it yet, better get it done now. See, okay, I have given you the appropriate warning. By the time your agency or department is completely shut down, all of you will carry placards to come to the AIM complex here to say all we are saying. Go there if you haven't done so already. Go there and lift that trailer or truck or whatever it is from off the road. Oh, someone here says they don't have intelligence reports. Okay, that might explain it. But so hence the intelligence report I'm dishing out right now. That should be more than enough as far as reports are concerned. Members of Akpo Security, Peace and Advisory Committee in Akpo Kingdom, Obi Akpo local government area, have denied assault on a bus driver plying the Ogbogoro-Mauseri route. Vice Chairman of Akpo OSPAC, David Anadi, told our correspondent the said bus driver never had a confrontation with any OSPAC member. Yeah, so let's hear what OSPAC commander or vice chairman David Amadi had to say about the situation just a moment. Oh, here we are.
There is no utter of truth in that allegation. First, the bus driver in question was having skirmishes with his colleagues in front of a security office here in Obogoro. So a sort of appeal just for him to repark out of the restricted area were made by verbal assault. Nobody either assaulted him nor embarrassed him or handled him. The man in question is very deceitful in character, is a drug peddler, and then we are calling on security agencies, the NDLA, to extensively investigate his character and his tendency of wearing neck collar and fictitious bandages in order to evade his identity.
Okay, all right. So let's also can we also call on the ICPC and the EFCC to investigate him? While we're at it, let's throw in the NSCDC as well. And just for good measure, the DSS should take over the investigation. And just to be certain, we'll leave it no stone unturned. Can we get Interpol involved as well to investigate this fellow that's fabricating this lie against OSPAC? How dare he fabricate this lie against OSPAC? He must be a fellow of questionable character. However, this alleged questionable character, a commercial bus driver identified as Henry Ikidina Kachuku, alleged that members of the Akpo OSPAC assaulted him after disagreement with one of them. Here's what he said.
But the next thing I saw, guy flashing torch direct at my eyes, and I say, "But the man, how they flash me torch for eye? Man, I can't go hit people where they pass." The guy and said, "God punish you, the idiot." Then I have father compound, and I replied and said, "If only you have father, you wouldn't have caused my father, because this thing never reached where you could call my father." That's all I said. And I drive down to Obogoro Junction to revise my boss to start coming to my house, not knowing that the Ospark there, because that guy is a Ospark, they follow me with another small car and they block me, forcing me to come down from my boss. I haven't even come down, they start beating me.
Those are probably sponsored elements. The report these days that we have aliens amongst us, so it's not unlikely that this could be Martians. It could be, they could be. You never can tell. You never can tell. Reports have it that we might not be alone in the universe. And who knows, maybe the reason Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are so keen to fly rockets into space is because they've already made contact with these aliens and they're trying to get into Nigeria. And they want to assume the position of bus drivers so they can infiltrate our ranks. And yeah, you see why I say we need to get Interpol involved in this. That's why we need to get Interpol involved in this. Maybe NASA as well, to investigate these matters. And there's a comment of WhatsApp going, Dyer, one wonders why David Amati knows this man as a criminal and failed to arrest him. This is an interesting story. David Amati. Oh, that's also interesting. I thought, the OSPAC was also set up to provide with intelligence to security agents. So if this man is of questionable character, one wonders why OSPAC has not helped all of us by handing him over to the relevant authorities. All right. Also, of grave interest or concern at this time, you must have heard about the unfortunate incident of Sylvester Remoni, who allegedly, who is dead right now. Allegedly, he suffered complications at the hands of some senior students at Dawan College in Lekki in Lagos State, and allegedly, reportedly as well, the result of this was health complications, which led to his death. And several matters are on the on the front burner at the moment. A major talking point right now is the issue of bullying. It's a very, very serious matter. And the fact of the matter is, yes, schools have some responsibility, and we can talk about the failure of Dawan College or similar schools where similar things may have happened. But the family still remains the smallest unit of any society. And the quality of people any society breeds can still somewhat to a great degree be traced to the quality of the family system. So parents, you have a responsibility to breed, to rear, to train responsible children who will end up becoming responsible adults. And the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, if children or if a child has bullying tendencies, those tendencies will be seen or can be seen at home. The question is, what are parents doing about it? That's a big question. What are you doing about it as a parent? I came across an interesting video. I don't do WhatsApp groups. I don't like them actually. But I belong to a couple. I don't mind. And for good reason. One of them, I came across a video earlier today. And I thought it would make for an interesting listen, if you will. Since you can't watch it anyways. But I got the audio extracted, and it talks about bullying, so do take your time to listen to it, just a couple of minutes. A very strong message it does have. I'll be right back in a bit.
Good morning and happy Monday, everyone. Well, it's a happy Monday for some of us. A little background into this video that's being shot this morning. This lovely lady is my 10-year-old daughter, who has, for the second time this school year, been kicked off the school bus.
Alright, a quick, a slight background here. So the video, this is how the video looks. You can tell that the man who's shooting this video is in a car. You can tell he's driving the car. You can tell that he's shooting that video through the windshield of his car. And his daughter, whom he says is 10 years old, is on the side of the road walking ahead of him. So he's literally driving slowly behind her as she walks to school. So I hope that image helps you. Let's go back.
Due to bullying another student, let me make this extremely clear. Bullying is unacceptable, especially in my household. Friday, when my daughter brought home her paperwork for her bus suspension, she said, "Daddy, you're going to have to take me to school next week." As you see this morning, she is learning otherwise. A lot of children today feel that the things their parents do for them is a right and not a privilege. Such as parents taking their children to school in the morning, or even bus rides to school in the morning. All of that is a privilege and should be treated as such. So today, my beautiful daughter is going to walk 5 miles to school in 36-degree weather. I know a lot of you parents are not going to agree with this, but that is all right. Because I'm doing what I feel is right to teach my daughter a lesson and to stop her from bullying. So children, if you're watching this, please understand that bullying is unacceptable everywhere and will not be tolerated. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
And yes, the man is right. I'm sure there are several parents or guardians out there, or older persons, who do not agree with the method that he's employed. And he also said that's all right, that's fine. But as far as he's concerned, he cannot have a daughter who is a bully. She's 10 years old and she's bullying other children already on the school bus. And the school had to send a notice to her parents that she's not allowed on the school bus, at least for a while. And the father thought to punish her, and she had the temerity to tell him that you're taking me to school next week, you know. And he decided to teach her a lesson. You can't be a bully. You're my daughter. You cannot be a bully. You know. I imagine that several parents may have reacted a different way. You probably hear things like, you know, these children, what are we going to do now? What are we going to do? What can we do? This jet age. The children of nowadays, that's how they see. It's nothing. It's just childhood. It's just childhood. Just childhood. Hopefully someday that childhood will not lead to your child being brought home after having been shot by security operatives, or some other even more tragic scenario, causing you heartache and incredible pain indeed. So you have a responsibility. Train up your children in the way that they should go. When they're old, they very likely will not depart from it. If your children are showing tendencies or signs of being bullies, stop it. Train them. Caution them. Punish them if you need to. Appropriately and sensibly, of course, you know. But ensure that you train them properly. You have a responsibility as well. Okay, that's it for today's side comments, I suppose. That's it. Did I miss something else? I think that's the much that I can take for today's side comment. Alright, so I go for a break now. But my WhatsApp, someone says, "Die, I've seen that video before. Thumbs up to the dad." I give a double thumbs up to the dad as well. And I hope other parents out there will, in their own way, emulate this father and train their children properly and ensure that they cast out and bind every spirit of bullying in them. So, commercial break. When I return, today's round comes up. Please stay with us.
Information is a two-way thing. Nigeria Info, it's your turn. Let's talk.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Are you running late and can't make it down to our Rumorsi office to book your commercials? Don't worry, because you can take advantage of our marketing office inside Port Harcourt to book your commercials. It is located at Shop 9 Mediatrix of All Graces Plaza, opposite FIRS Stadium Road, Port Harcourt. You can also call our sales rep on 0817 001 8162. That's 0817 001 8162.
Keeping up with political issues and developments around you, only on Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dayo.
Hello, welcome back to Hard Facts 91.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dayo, and I'd like to rant for just a bit. I've got something in my mind. I'll be expressing some thoughts in it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts and mine all the way till 4 p.m. A lot has happened in the last 1 year or so, or even slightly over a year, since last year, with the COVID-19 situation and all. Also with the NSAS campaign. Nigerians from all walks of life, from different social strata, demanding equity and justice, demanding fair play, demanding accountability, demanding responsibility, efficiency and effectiveness of our security agencies, operatives, especially the police, and by extension demanding some accountability of government as well. And governments at different levels, different individuals, have also done a lot in a bid to sell the narrative or sell the idea that they are being responsive to the yearnings of the people, and are doing quite a lot or quite a bit to change the situation, to change the narrative, to ensure that Nigerians get a fair deal, are treated properly, and that the challenges for the security agencies and the agents themselves are dealt with. For example, they scrapped SARS and replaced it with SWAT and several other administrative swaps or changes were or have been made as well. And quite recently, we had the panels of inquiry set up, not just in Lagos State but in different parts of the country, to investigate police brutality, and even more so, especially in Lagos, the activities at the Lekki toll gate. And all of these activities have been going on, once again with government determined for everyone to believe that it is taking proactive steps and proactive measures to ensure that the situation improves and is changed, and Nigerians are better for it and happier. But the question is it just a narrative that government is really determined to sell, or is that really what's going on? Is government really addressing the problems? Is government really addressing the matter? I did a round recently, maybe sometime last week, on the Lagos State Governor's call for a peace walk, which for me, quite frankly, was somewhat illogical, and I did express that during that rant, because as I did say at that time, the reason a lot of Nigerians embarked on an NSAS protest was not because they were lacking in physical activity or because they had cardio issues. Now, for those who think they need to get their cardio on or need to work out more, the Port Harcourt City Marathon, I think, is coming up very soon. I think it's still coming up. I hope it hasn't come up already. I think it's still coming up. So that is going to address people who have cardio issues or want to get into, want to start working out and need something to kickstart them, or somebody who just wants to win 1 million prize money, and other prize monies that are on offer. That's what that is for. But as far as the issue of injustice, extrajudicial killings, torture, abuses, dehumanization, and you name it, that's been meted out, unleashed, I might say, on Nigerians by security operatives, a peace walk is not what's needed to address that. And the question is, since the NSAS protest, since these panels have sat and have presented their findings and white papers have been drawn up left, right, center, what really has changed? Has the attitude of security agents to Nigerians has changed? For example, back to the Lagos State Governor once again, who is asking Lagosians to join him for a peace walk. I'd like to ask him a question, and others like himself, honorables and excellencies around this country, are they really convinced that Nigerians, the vast majority of Nigerians, feel safer, especially at the hands of our security agents, and are willing to embark on a peace walk? And I'd like to ask especially about some of these families or specific families in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State who have suffered something absolutely mind-numbing at this time, which actually is the inspiration for today's rant. Now here's a story from the Vanguard newspaper captioned, 8 children who died inside car. We opted to bury our children because officials demanded 0.8 million naira for autopsy. That's according to bereaved parents. Now here's the story. Now wait, before that, remember the story about was it 7 children or so who were somehow locked up in some SUV and died, and the police are investigating that matter right now. I think the story broke sometime earlier this week or during the weekend or so. That's the matter. This story is from that matter. Now let's get to the story. Mr. Ibrahim Jibrila, father of 2 boys, Tohib and Mahmoud, who were among the 8 lifeless bodies recovered inside Honda Pilot SUV with number plate blah blah blah, abandoned inside a fenced house in the Michael community, Alarunda area of Lagos State, has said he decided not to go ahead with the autopsy because of its cost. Now Jibrila, whose younger brother also lost 2 daughters, Aisha 3 and Farida 9, in the incident said, quote, they said the autopsy will cost 100,000 naira each for each child, that is 800,000 naira for the children. Unfortunately, I can't spend 800,000 naira to investigate the death of our children, so we requested for their corpses, which we took home and buried after collecting documents from the police. Jibrila said, and I quote once again, I don't want any case because as Muslims it is forbidden to spend money investigating someone that is dead. We took their corpses to General Hospital, Badagry on Saturday after police gave us reports. At the General Hospital they said they would transfer the corpses to Ikeja to the autopsy to find out what killed the children. They said the autopsy will cost 100,000 naira for each child, that is 800,000 naira for the 8 children. Recounting the death of the children, Jabila said, I can't confirm if the children actually died inside the vehicle from suffocation or they were killed and placed inside the vehicle. And it goes on and on to narrate what he knows about this. Now, it's a very, very unfortunate incident. What played out, I think it was in Badagry, area of Lagos State. 7 or 8 children or so died in a vehicle, in an SUV. Reports have it that they were playing around in their community, in their area, and all of a sudden people, their parents or guardians began to look for them, and all 7 or 8 of them were found locked up in an SUV, and they were dead. I think 7 of them were dead. I think there were 8 in the vehicle in all. 7 died. I think 1 was said to have been alive. Maybe the 8th one died eventually. Not quite certain right now. Now the police have said they're investigating this matter. There was a story yesterday of the police claiming to be investigating this matter. Now how can the police investigate this matter without carrying out an autopsy to determine the cause of death of these children? What kind of investigation can that possibly be? How can the police in Lagos State claim to be investigating the cause of the death of these children and not conduct an autopsy? And then in a bid, as they claim to conduct an autopsy, they ask the parents, the mourning, bereaved parents of these children, to cough up 100,000 naira each, totaling 800,000 naira for them to conduct the autopsy of these children. Unsurprisingly, the parents cannot afford it. And so they simply requested the corpses of their children, which was handed over to them, and they have buried them. So what kind of investigation will the police be carrying out? What kind of results will this investigation yield as to the cause of the death of these children? What? These children have been buried. Reportedly, no autopsy carried out because the authorities were demanding money from the parents to conduct the autopsy as a furtherance of their investigation. Now they've been buried, no autopsy. What kind of investigation can possibly still go on that will yield anything worthwhile? So I imagine that the Lagos State Governor will also expect the parents of these 8 children to join him as well for this peace walk. Parents who have buried their children will also join the Governor of Lagos State on a peace walk to mend hearts. To mend hearts. To mend hearts. It's very unfortunate indeed, most unfortunate, and what is most sickening about this is that the leaders, honorables and excellencies, always pretend to not know that these things are happening, always pretend to not understand what Nigerians are going through, always pretend to have no idea the atrocities, the dehumanization that Nigerians suffer on a daily basis at the hands of our security agents. But someday, inevitably, the chickens will come home to roost. There's only how far to which you can push the people. Some sign was given with the end-touch protest, and let me say this, by the way, nobody should engage in violence or active violence for any reason. Then again, there's only how far to which you can push the people. At some point, they're going to inevitably say, you know what, we've had enough. But just in case our honorables and excellencies are too busy, you know, giving us the dividends of democracy, they are so desperate to give us, which is littering the entire place, dividends everywhere. In fact, it's been raining dividends since beginning of the year. Just in case they are so busy unleashing the dividends of democracy on us, today's rant is a reminder to the authorities that justice still evades a vast majority of Nigerians. In fact, for a lot of Nigerians, when you mention the word justice, they have no idea what you're talking about because they've never experienced it before. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. I hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts about Let's Hear It? The numbers of the same lines are open. Call 0817 93 0002, 0817 93 003, 0817 93 007, or 0817 93. I think that's that. WhatsApp is on 0809 030 6416. We are live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Do keep it brief and straight to the point, of course, and once the call is answered, do remember to turn down the volume of your radio set as well. It's important not to do so. Hello, hard factor, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Henry. Yes, I want to say that we operate in our democracy. And our own constitutional democracy, we have what we call the exclusive list and the concurrent list. And last time I checked, the Lagos State government, the police is on the exclusive list, and it's not the responsibility of Lagos State government. And so we must give Lagos State government a break. In my view, they are doing a lot to keep peace in Lagos. The recommendations that came from the NSAS protest tribunal, that recommendation, about 19 of them, Lagos State government considered to all except one that was that was contradictory. That was all. They are being on the part of the people.
Henry, just a moment. I think you completely, yes. With due respect to you and your opinion on the matter, I think you completely missed the point of the rant. The point of my rant was not about the position of the Lagos State government on the NSAS report is not about whether the NSAS report is true or it's false. It's not about who controls the police, whether it's the Lagos State or the federal government. That was not the essence of it. So it's inevitable. I have to end this conversation. I'm sorry, really. But that was not the point of my rant. It's not about Lagos State's interest in it. Yes, the federal government is responsible for the police and security, is on the exclusive list and all of that. No doubt about that. So okay, fine. So maybe I shouldn't have mentioned Lagos State government. Okay, so every part that I used Lagos State government, I take it out right now. I'm inserting federal government. I hope that sorts that matter. So since I've done that now, let's move on with the substance of my rant. Hello, Hard Facts, welcome.
Hello, good afternoon, the very distinguished.
Hello, go ahead.
Yes, simple, okay. But, for me, it's very shocking that those children have been buried, and we are still talking about investigation. I think for me, in a civilized world, there are things that the government, even on their own, can come up to investigate the rationales behind such, matters or cases. If need be, at least at this particular one, I expect the police to conclude all investigation. At least come up and tell the parents if there is any need, the parents can contribute. They put up their own contribution. But telling them to bring money, even when they are telling me investigation are going on, I don't know what they will be investigating. Are they going to be investigating the tires of that car or the seat of that car when this child have been buried, these children have been buried? For me, I don't think it's a very good one. We are talking about bully. Bully has been going on, but when it happens to a big man child, it looks as if it has never happened before. That is what this country we are. We are seeing. For me, it has been going on, but it happens to a big man child, it looks as if it is the first time. That is why I always say, he that lives in a glass house shouldn't throw stones, because he don't know who it will fall on his head. Thank you.
Via WhatsApp, good adult, Nigeria police and bribery are like bread and butter. They don't have a human face. They are the highest bullies of innocent Nigerians. So see if we force them to join the force. 800k for autopsy, that's ridiculous. From Egwe, 0.8 million naira is for lunch. That they will have strength to carry out the investigation. Shame. Good afternoon. I think the police want to do spiritual investigation. That's a question. Hello, hard fact, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello, go on. Hello. Via WhatsApp, and Waffle Destiny Facebook, pardon me. And Waffle Destiny goes, what a fallen country. What matters is not treated the way it's supposed. May God help the poor. And Gospel Worker goes, this matter should not be swept under the carpet. Proper investigation should be carried out to ascertain the cause of the deaths. Hello, you're welcome.
Hello, good afternoon.
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, I think that more often than not in Nigeria, the police, they don't carry out investigation. What they do, they obtain conventional statements. At least you know the case of Chuma in Port Harcourt. They once confessed to be robbers or whatever. And more often than not, also they look forward to collecting money from victims. It's a sad one. Thank you.
You're welcome. Our company, the Golden Girls Chop by Chomp. Almost everyone wants their own share. Now, whether it's a bad or a good situation. And thank you, girls, for the country, Nigeria.
Yeah, please. Hello, good evening, guys. This is
Hello.
Mike.
Go ahead.
It is evidently clear that the so-called police, we respect them if they conduct themselves in a respectable way, and not threaten the people, they are threatening themselves. And if we say that the taxpayer, he who pays the piper, he pays the tune, I'm very sure that everybody knows, heaven and earth knows, that the salary, the equipment, everything about the police is from the taxpayers' money. Which means we should be taking the tune. And if they are the apparatus of the executive for the people, they have failed so far. What are they doing? Somebody is dead. What is required of you? By international standards, you are supposed to investigate that. What do you do without asking a couple? Imagine that you are in the U.S. and you have a cop, and you can just, for example, go and bring $100,000 to do autopsy for your own cop. So you see people who are wearing Nigerian police uniform, they are doing what they like. And because they are organ at the top, every one of them, from the president table to the ID table, every one of them are not acting responsibly. And it is high time Nigerians, from this moment going forward, we should tell them no, they cannot do that. Until we do that, they will not stop. And we have the power to do that. We are over about 200 million, and there are a few of them among this 140 million. We can surpass them and bring them to the leader and tell them, no, you must stop. But it is an insult. Somebody is dead and still go and bring 100,000 carelessly. This is investigating. When you're being paid taxpayer money, and somebody is governor or president, they're insulting us. This must stop. All right.
Quite extremely painful indeed. Can I take another call? Hello, you're welcome.
Yeah,
oh, you have a minute, go ahead. Hello. Well, he's gone. Alright, so I do have to wrap it up, however. It's very sad indeed. I can't even begin to imagine the suffering and the pain of these parents. To have 8 children die in one day. I think one family lost 3 children, another one lost 2, one lost 1. It's just incredible. And the police claim to investigate in the matter and then ask the parents to pay 800,000 naira for autopsy. It's very sad indeed. And yes, I do concede that the police is on the exclusive list, and it wasn't about that. My rant wasn't about whether or not the police is answerable to the federal government or the state government. It's the essence of it. It's what happens, what Nigerians have to deal with. But even if we were to make it about state or federal government, which my rant was not about actually, I wasn't even thinking it. It wasn't even on the back of my mind. But even if we were to make it about that, we've had incidents where state governors prevent the police from carrying out arrests. The police is a federal agency, exclusive list. So why is the governor stopping an arrest from taking place? Exclusive list. It happened. We've had governors issuing orders to security, heads of security agents, and they carry it out. Exclusive list. Why are they concerned about it? We've had the police or Lagos State government, for example, carrying out an inquest into a matter the police is investigating. Why are they doing that? It's exclusive list. But like I said, it's not about that. Nigerians are dealing with a lot. Government should wake up to their responsibilities and deal with these issues. Got a break coming up right now. Business news for the hour. After that, a class action suit can help us. A class action lawsuit can help us deal with the suit minutes in River State. How? When I return, please stay with us.